tonight is for the conduct of town business by the town board. The public is invited to participate at the items marked on the agenda, public comment. During that segment of the meeting, if you have a question or comment for the supervisor, please raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. Please state your full name and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation.
Thank you, Colleen. I'd like to start the meeting off with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for all our brave men and women fighting all over the world for democracy and freedom, for our first responders, and keeping your prayers to people in Kentucky. Thank you. We need a motion, gentlemen, to approve the agenda for tonight.
So moved.
Need a sec. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
So moved. Motion to approve minutes from the November 22nd, 2021 Town Board meeting.
I make that motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None being said. So moved. Number 5, authorized payment of bills in the amount of $106,217.51. Need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None being said. So moved. Any comments on the agenda for tonight? Mr. Reynolds.
I don't know if you want to do this now, but I wanted to ask you about the park reserve, the 186,359 that you're approving tonight. Was that for the whole project, or was that for the phase of the project?
That's what has been done up to now.
From the beginning?
Yes. On the Sands Avenue project?
Yeah.
Yes.
But not the dog park, that was earlier.
No, the dog park was done by a Eagle Scout.
So this is all that other work that
Yes.
we talked about last week?
Yes.
The other question I had was on the next resolution with the Latent properties. Do you know what the address of that is? The actual physical address?
I do not know the physical address, but it's the old Graziosi project property that's on Dock Road in Marlborough,
Oh,
right past the sewer
the
plant.
dockside project?
Dockside
Yes.
project.
Oh, okay. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So we didn't have anything scheduled for presentations, but we do have Mr. Layton here, who wants to talk about the project on Dock Road, Mark. So Mr. Layton will come up and talk about his vision of what he'd like to see down there. Hey, Scott. Yeah, please.
Hi, I'll speak through the mask. I'm Scott Layton, and I'm here to talk about what we're planning for a property located in the town of Marlborough on the corner of 9W and Dock Road. And, obviously it goes in quite a bit from that position. Just a little background on myself. I am a real estate developer and have been developing in the New York metropolitan area since 1991. And the projects range are basically all residential. 98% of them are all residential. We have been concentrating on active adult communities. These are communities that are for 55 and older and have clubhouses and different types of housing for 55 and older with basically master bedrooms on the first floor. That being said, this project, the way that we envision it, is to create a community within the community. And that's really an important factor. Everything that we have seen with the projects, the active adults, is that we create really the center of the community as a clubhouse. And it's just not, just a clubhouse so you place some things in there. It really is architecturally and aesthetically something very pleasing that people create relationships around there. I've seen it in all of the communities, Halloween and holiday parties and happy hour, and we have bocce courts and there's bocce clubs, and really just, I see, which I didn't really realize when we started developing these, how much of that part of the community, of the human relations, are created. So we are looking to do a very similar project, smaller in scale than a lot of the other projects we have. Still a large project for the town of Marlborough, somewhere between 80 and 100 homes. We are working on the site plan here, so I don't have anything really to show you exactly. And as we get later on in the development, we'll do some public hearings and vetting of the property. So they'll be attached and hopefully detached, a combination. And nothing, we're looking to create homes that, if they are attached, with the most amount of end unit homes. So that we're talking about 2 or 3 homes, maybe 4 in a cluster, but trying to keep it really quaint and also value, which most people want to live on an end home. Let's talk about the clubhouse, and then I'll talk a little bit about the homes. So the clubhouse will have what we look for, bocce. They'll have a barbecue outside. There will be a pool, a patio for lounging. Inside there'll be a card room separate, also a library lounge with usually a fireplace, and a bar area for people to have a happy hour, things of that sort. There'll be 2 locker rooms so that people can shower and go to the pool, and obviously a gym and fitness area. Everything will be, there's basically, if you're familiar with the property, there's a little bit of an area that's higher, closer to 9W, and then the property drops down into the bulk of the property. But a pretty walkable community. We're anticipating putting the clubhouse overlooking the Hudson River, so that you could, you go to the clubhouse, work out, or as I said, just hang out with your friends, and then outside we'll have a really nice view of the Hudson River. The homes themselves will be, they're not going to be grandiose. They'll be, 2,000 to 2,400 square feet, very energy efficient now, obviously with all the new codes and the state codes. As I said, 2 to 3 bedrooms, 1 to 2 car garages. There'll be parking also within the community. We'll probably create a dog park, potentially a little garden area. So that's a little bit about the property. Any questions for anybody, or?
Well, it's basically it's in the infant stage of the project. It's the very beginning, right? So you approached the board, myself, Mr. Baker, and Mr. Corcoran, about part of the property is in the sewer district. Part of the other property, the bulk of the property is in the improvement district. So we're working out the nuts and bolts about getting you sewer. So this way, as you say, you could flush the toilets. That's the main thing. And I think we're along the same line. I think Supervisor-elect Corcoran has been involved with the talks. Myself and Scott and Dennis Larios, who's our engineer, and Jerry Kamadas had a conversation. I think they're in the midst of drafting something up. But tonight, we have a resolution to move forward with your project, so this way the board is comfortable with that. That's what the resolution states. To be full transparency, you did give us escrow in the amount, I think, of $12,500, $2,500 for the lawyer, $10,000 for our engineer, to proceed with the documents that is needed for DEC to extend our sewer plant from 175 to 200,000 gallons per day, which would satisfy both Bayside and Dockside.
Yes.
So that's about it in a nutshell, but you have a ways to go, and this is a great start, and I really appreciate you contacting us and meeting with us and telling us about your project.
And I'll always
Very exciting.
I'll be very available if there are any questions, always, here. Yeah, sure.
Where's the proposed entrance for this?
Is off of Dock Road.
Would be off the top.
Not 9W, correct.
And what,
Mark?
what's-
I'm sorry.
go ahead, Mark.
Mark?
Mr. Layton, I just had a question. Is the zoning change, the zoning is now what, and you're seeking what?
My lawyer's not here, but I think it's industrial, and except for the couple of lots right on 9W, and there's a multifamily zone that we're going to be looking for, because it's going to be, though it's not rental, these are going to be for sale, it's still under the MF zone. I don't know exactly that. My lawyer is Mark Blanchard, who, again, tonight I did, just try to, tell about the whole property, but you're right, Al is, Supervisor is correct that I'm just here to present so that we can have a resolution, so that we can have a reservation agreement, because I'm actually, even though I adjoin the property next to the sewer treatment plant, we're actually out of district. So we're looking to, pay our way in, and for the improvement also of the sewer plant.
Thank you.
I got a question. You just said most of the apartments are gonna be, or buildings are 2 to 3 bedrooms?
Yeah.
So it's basically gonna be, there's gonna be families down there, correct?
Well, first, it's not going to be apartments. They're going to be
No, they're gonna be built.
townhouses and stuff like that.
Right.
My perception is that, it's not going to be, my experience, I say, has been that these are for sometimes first-time home buyers and people that have no kids. And I think this is going to be a little bit of a secondary home market for some people that are not in this area and track them
But
to.
if you do, 3 bedrooms, no one's gonna, they're not gonna have 3-bedroom houses without having children.
Our experience is that's not the case. Again, it's not that there won't be, and we're not restricting it to that. It's not like an active adult community, which is that. So there will be the openness of it. But I do see at the price levels that these are going to be, and the clubhouse, it's more of a, as I said, community resort, and I think we're going to be looking for and selling to, and I'm not going to deny if somebody comes in and says family right here that wants to be here, but I think we'll be presenting it and marketing it to second home markets.
Do you have a number on units that you plan on building there?
Yeah, 80 to 100.
80 to 100?
And you said the price, I think, point was 500 to 600,000?
That's what we're shooting for.
Mm-hmm.
And you said when you separate buildings, like you're only gonna have like 4 buildings or 4?
We're now laying it out, and there are some, it's like a puzzle, trying to fit, it's not just a flat pan, so we've got the steep slope, and where best to place the clubhouse so that everybody gets to enjoy it, is that there will be attached and detached. Right now, I would like to have it, I would love to have it all detached, small, separations, 15 feet, I believe, is the building code that we need to do. But it seems like that because of certain restrictions, we're ending up with having a cluster being, as I said, I'd like to have it as few as possible, semi-attached, but probably most of them will be 3. 2 ends and 1 middle, all attached, and, that would be it with a garage and a porch and a backyard and that.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you, Scott. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
So, that being said, I'd like to do the supervisor's final report for December 2021. Having the honor of representing the people of the town of Marlborough as supervisor over several terms that have been spanned 10 years. I wanted to take this opportunity to remark on some of our accomplishments and thank the many people who helped move our community forward. Over the years, the town board and I have been able to broaden the tax base and control taxes by supporting businesses with additional infrastructure, including improved roads, extending water and sewer, and changes to building and zoning codes. We were able to do this at a reduced cost to taxpayers because of our good relationship with our other governmental partners, especially Assemblyman Scartanos and Jacobson, as well as Senator Larkin and Skoufis. We also focused on improving the quality of life for the people of Marlborough. We worked hard to involve the community in transparent planning to identify the ways in which the town should grow. We updated the comprehensive plan, developed a local waterfront revitalization plan, and identified our historic resources. Much of that work is attributed to the dedication of Town Councilman Howard Baker. Because of his planning, we have been extremely successful in receiving taxpayers' monies returned to Marlborough in the form of grants. We also have been fortunate to have the talents of residents Rosemary and Jerry Wine, who donate their time to write the grants. Perhaps the crowning achievement for this administration has been the improvement of economic development and recreation opportunities. It's hard to believe that it was 12 years ago that I signed the acceptance of the $1 million gift to the people of Marlborough to secure the first free public access to the Hudson River. Milton Landy Park started as a work of love by the Milton Fire Company, has grown into a beautiful planned area with a brand new deep water dock and adjacent renovated historic train station for community use. The economic potential of the park was recognized by the state and received funding to help turn it into the anchor of agro-tourism, recreation, and cultural events. None of this would have happened without the many volunteers and the ongoing support of the community. Community volunteers have always been welcomed by this administration. Thanks to local visionaries like Tony Falco, we have a new hiking trail in the hamlet of Marlborough. Thanks to local volunteers, we have a plan to develop the old Tomvac building into a community recreation center. Thanks for professionals who volunteer their time, we have rehabilitated the train station, designed standards for new construction, and an inventory of our historic buildings. I am so proud to have been a part of the many positive things that have happened over the past years that I was supervisor. I have made many friends and enjoyed the collaborations I have with my constituents and other governmental officials and agencies. I want to say a special word of appreciation for the town hall staff and all town department employees. They are truly the people who keep the town running. I can tell you that we are blessed to have especially competent people watching out for our community's safety, health, and welfare. I know I leave the town in good hands. Respectfully, Al Lancetta. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was hard to get out, believe me. Mr. Corcoran.
Monthly report, month ending November 2021, building inspector's report. Certificate of occupancy 5, request for information 18, building extensions 10, fire inspections 12. Order to remedy 8, complaints 21, burn permits 16. Building permits, 5 addition renovations, 16 burn permits, 1 demolition, 7 electrical, 4 generators, 2 pools or hot tubs, 6 roofs, 2 sheds, 1 single-family house, 1 tank install removal, 1 pellet stove. Estimated cost of building $383,977. Total permits 46. Fees collected: certificate of occupancy $750, permit extension $7,299.50, building permits $4,475, request for information $1,800, fire inspections $1,015, burn permits 70 for a total fee income of $15,409.50. Total gas usage 86 gallons, total miles 1396.
Thank you, Mr. Corcoran. Any questions for Tom? Thank you. Chief. Good evening.
Chief.
Activity summary for the month of November 2021. Motor vehicle accidents, personal injury 6, fatal 0, property damage 39 for a total of 45 for the month. Summons is issued, vehicle and traffic 90, parking 4. Complaint activity, total blotter entries 1,530 with a total of 20 arrests. Telephone calls handled for the month, 1,901 calls. Overtime, full-time dispatch 12 hours, part-time dispatch 73 hours. Police mileage for the month, 10,779 miles with a fuel consumption of 1,079 gallons, 1,079.563 gallons. There were no use of forces and no civilian complaints for the month of November. Just a note to the board real quick. Back in March or so, was contacted by the Oaks County District Attorney's Office, asked to submit some paperwork for the potential of some discovery monies being refunded back to us. In the last few weeks, we got some paperwork with the help of Supervisor Lanzetta. We filed that paperwork, and we have yet to receive a check, but it looks like we're going to get roughly $14,500 back out of the monies that we spent. So we can look forward to that probably in the next 60 days.
Thank you, Chief, for doing that. That's spot on. I mean,
Jerry, was
very good. Thank you very
was
much.
that the drug bust in the car, the vehicle stop?
No, this actually comes from, I'm not sure where the county got the money
Oh,
from.
okay.
Well, probably the state, but this is in reference to the police reform in reference to discovery and all the extra work that we had to do, the equipment we had to buy. So when we put in the grant, we put in for some of the computers that we purchased last year, the server we purchased last year, that Synology NAS backup thing we bought, 2 copiers, 2 monitors, a whole bunch of paper clips, things like that.
Yeah,
Totaling $14,500 roughly. And it was approved, so we got it back.
Good.
We haven't seen the funds yet, but they say 60 days. So that was a gamble, because when they told us to put it in, they were like, well, we're about 10% sure we might get it. So, and it worked out. So that's, you know, we complain all these unfunded mandates. Well, the county, through the state, made us a little bit better off than we were. So that was a nice surprise. Not that it was a gift, but a nice surprise.
I think they appreciated that you got on it right away. You got the paperwork, I signed it, went up
Yes.
there, and everything got done, we got a reply.
Yeah, we did it,
so.
once they sent the contract, it was like hours, and we had everything back to them, so. And we were ready for it, waiting for it, so it was good. Just want to make you aware that we got it, and the new board-elect will be looking for those funds to come in, and we will have discussions on those funds when they get here. Scott, thank you, sir.
Chief, you
Appreciate it.
ever had time to, for the crossing there in 9W?
Yes, so Patrol has looked at it. They didn't write any summonses. By the end of the week, we'll actually have details going on. We're working to schedule those now. So hopefully Thursday and Friday, we'll actually have dedicated officers just to do that detail.
It's not as bad as just the crosswalk. I mean, but people still don't recognize the blinking light, which really, I
Right.
don't understand.
Yes,
You know.
like a Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the complaints that I've heard, is that the light is so blinding. This is the other side of it now. The light is so blinding that they can't see the people in the crosswalk. My argument to that is,
Common sense
well,
would say,
if the light is on, you need to stop.
Yeah, stop.
If the light is on, you need to stop. There's no question.
They'll figure it out.
But this is what I've been told, so, it is bright, but I don't know what resolve to it. The only other thing I would like to see there, and I don't even think it's a possibility, it'd be nice if when those yellow lights were activated, that there were spotlights that actually lit up the crosswalk. That would be pretty cool, but I don't think they don't have, I've never seen that before, so.
We're
it's-
happy to get what we got from DOT.
well, absolutely, it's much better than what we had, right.
Thank you,
All right,
Chief.
appreciate it, thank you.
Hey, Chief.
Alan, you want to do the highway?
Yeah. Monthly report for November 2021. This month was spent preparing for the winter season. We started our maintenance of drainage ditches by cleaning out, removing leaves and debris. This also involved ditching along Willow Tree Road, Idlewild Road, Prospect Street, and Old Indian Road. We did our yearly repainting of markers for all catch basins and pipe ends. We spent several days getting all our trucks ready for the upcoming snow and ice storms. Finished mowing for the year throughout the town, the landfill, cap, and the reservoir. Did litter patrols. Prepared a catch basin on River Knoll Drive. Sent 2 men to Waco, Texas for training on our new street sweeper. Assisted the Milton Fire Department with removing the docks from the train station and floated them to West Shore Marina. Assisted the Water Department as a water main break on North Road and Old Indian Road. Also installed the new water tap on Green Tree Lane. Started replacing street name signs along 9W. The new signs have our town seal on a white background and black lettering. We have plans to replace all the town roadsides eventually. On 11/28, we sent out 3 trucks to salt the west side of Latent Town Road, which received about 1 inch of snow. Fuel usage, gas 133.982 gallons, diesel 932.168 gallons. Respectfully submitted, John Alonji.
Thank you very much.
The white signs, I'm getting a lot of questions on those. Was that a
Say that
state?
again, I'm sorry.
Those white, the white street signs, the white, they're replacing them on 9W?
Yeah.
Is that just the town decided to do it, or is,
I think so.
okay, I'm just getting, people are asking me, that's all. So it wasn't a mandate,
Yeah,
it
they-
wasn't,
Highway superintendent decided to replace them.
okay.
They're cool, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they look good, I'm not,
Yeah.
no one's complaining, they're just wondering, that's
Yeah.
all,
Yep.
Yeah.
so.
Thank you, Alan.
Yep.
Do you want to do the Charlie's?
Charlie Maggio, monthly report for November. Water consumption total 6.079 million gallons, which is a daily usage of 535,966. Compared to last month, 16.360 million gallons, which is a daily usage of 527,740. Compared to your water consumption was 16.505 million gallons for the month, which is a daily usage of 550,160. Hydrants, we had a repair hydrant on Orchard View in Marlborough. We also have been installing snow markers and winterizing hydrants that are needed. Curb boxes, we had to repair a curb box on the Turnpike. Water main, we had to repair an 8-inch water main on North Road in Milton, and also an 8-inch water main on Old Indian Road with the help of the highway department. Service lines, we had to install a new service line on Green Tree Lane. We had to repair a service line on Milton Turnpike. Sewer, we had to inspect a new sewer tap on Flaticle Road. Sewer laterals had to be cleaned out on Maple Avenue and Watson Avenue. We had to winterize the town park and also the dog park. New York State DEC performed their annual inspection of our reservoir. Service line inspections 1, closings 5, markouts 45, gallons of gas 215, gallons of diesel 0, mileage for the month 18.
Thank you, Ed.
You're welcome.
Colleen?
Town clerk, monthly report for November 2021. Burn permits 1 for $50, conservation 15 for $96.26. Dog licenses 11 for a total of $60. Transfer station permits 1 for $60. Punch cards 19 for $1,315. Marriage licenses 4 for $70. Building department fees 1 for $10,877.54. Fire fees 1 for $1,045. Accident reports 8 for $40. Certified copies 7 for $180. FOIA requests 3 for $22. Park fees 1 for $300. For a grand total of $14,115.80.
Any questions for Colleen, our clerk? Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much, Colleen.
Thank you.
Yeah, the water quality management, December the 6th, 2021, for the month of November 2021, both the Marlborough and Milton wastewater treatment plants complied with all the speedies requirements. The following are monthly statistics for both plants. The Marlborough wastewater treatment plant, average daily flow is 115,000 gallons per day, about 66% of design capacity. Average BOD removal is 95%. Average suspended solids removal, 92%. Milton wastewater treatment plant, average daily flow is 33,000 gallons per day, about 60% of design capacity. Average BOD removal, 97%. Average suspended solids removal, 95%. Both the Marlborough and Milton treatment plants operate normally during the month of November without any major changes or events. We have started to address the rust on the tanks at the Milton facility. This includes grinding off all rusted areas and applying a seal we received from Encon. That's E-N-E-C-O-N. We are also looking into servicing the 2 exhaust fans that are currently not working in the building. Once fixed, they should help with the high moisture that is causing the rust. The Larios engineer firm informed me that Whitcon Inc. will start the construction for the dechlorination system at the Miltons sometime this week. Overall, both wastewater treatment plants are in good working order but are getting older. If you need any additional information, please do not hesitate to contact me, and that's Julian Falco. I could let you know that the dechlorination system has been installed and it's all up and running. So I think John is going to have somebody come down on Dock Road because they did a saw cut on Dock Road, and he's going to have somebody come and pave that tomorrow. So it's all done.
Good.
Town of Marlborough Dog Control, Andrew McKee. Monthly report, 11/1/2021 through 11/30/2021. Overall, we received a total of 16 calls this month, including 4 calls to service from the New York State Police and Ulster County Sheriff. Responded to 4 active complaints and/or cases which are now closed or resolved. We currently have 4 open cases of complaint. We impounded 0 stray dogs this month. No appearance tickets were issued this month. We have 1 dangerous dog hearing in progress in Marlborough Justice Court. That's been going on for a while. I would like to urge residents that the winter weather upon us, please do not leave your pets outdoor unattended. Andrew McKay. Assessor's Office, you want to do that, Scott?
Okay, assessor's report, December 13th, 2021. We're prepared 6 tax estimates. We have been working with the developers for the proposed project at Dockside. They will be submitting some additional requested information. We processed 37 sales this month. We are slowly getting in our renewal exemption applications for the age nonprofit and agricultural exemptions. These years, all exemptions must be filed prior to March 1st, 2022. The State Department of Taxation and Finance will manage all the STAR and Enhanced STAR applications. Any questions or concerns should be directed to the Tax and Finance Department. We're continuing to work on collecting our new construction and field, reviewing our sales of our assessment rolls for the next year, 2022.
Thank you.
Respectfully, Cindy Hilton.
Thank you, Scott. Howard?
Planning Board review for November 2021. Financial report, $900 in application fees, $877 in escrow fees, $0 in recreation fees, and $2,787.18 in invoices. First meeting is November 1st. Everyone was in attendance. They approved the stenographic minutes. First item was the Taddeo Giametta, 14, 16, and 18 Riverwood Drive, Milton, public hearing, lot line. A public hearing was reopened and closed with no additional input from the public. The applicant received unanimous approval via resolution of approval for the planned and proposed lot line change. The next item was Henry's Farm to Table on 220 North Road in Milton. It was a public hearing for a site plan. Public hearing was reopened and closed with no additional input from the public. The applicant received unanimous approval via resolution of approval for the proposed site plan. Next item was Lordy at 11 Mount Rose Road in Marlborough, sketch lot line. Applicant received unanimous approval via resolution of approval for the proposed lot line change. Next item was Francos at 387 Latentown Road, Marlborough, sketch site plan. After reviewing the applicant and discussion, the applicant decided to resubmit his application as a short-term rental. The applicant will provide clarification regarding site uses as well as a more detailed plan of the structure. County Planning Board and DPW review will be required. A public hearing will also be necessary for approval. Next item was Yang Subdivision at 24 Flaticle Road, Marlborough, which was a sketch for a subdivision. As per clarification provided by the Town Code Enforcement Officer, the applicant is required to submit to the ZBA for the pre-existing non-conforming condition on site. The applicant agreed to have the ZBA and Planning Board review run concurrently. A December 6, 2021 public hearing was scheduled. Conceptual site plan discussion with engineer was with Verizon at 50 Cross Street, Marlborough, sketch for a site plan. The board member, James Garofalo, recused himself from all participation in the review of this applicant. The applicant provided preliminary notification of plans to construct a wireless service utility at 50 Cross Street on lands owned by the Marlborough School District. Possible areas of concern were provided by members of the board as requested by the applicant. The board agreed to retain the services of Michael Musso from HDR to assist in the process. The next scheduled meeting was November 15th. On the agenda was the Gallo subdivision at 46 Idlewild Road in Marlborough, public hearing subdivision. Public hearing was open with limited input from the public in attendance. The applicant was asked to modify and or clarify minor agricultural notes on the plans. The board authorized their attorney to draft a resolution of approval for the next meeting. Next item was the Posanti subdivision at 64 Peach Lane in Milton. It was sketch approval for a subdivision. The applicant was represented by a professional who recently took over the proposal. Several questions were raised regarding the bulk table requirements, the driveway location, the roadway dedication, the sewer setbacks, and possible referral to ZBA. The board moved to adopt its intent for lead agency for seeker review. Next deadline is November 19th. Next scheduled meeting is December 6th. Respectfully submitted, Chris Brand, Chairman, Town of Marlborough Planning Board.
Thank you, Howard.
You're welcome.
Okay, moving right along to report of the committees. As far as Recreation Committee, I know thanks to Councilman Corcoran and Tina Rosa and Chris Wilco, we had a successful Christmas party at the new brewery here in Milton. It was very good. The food was excellent. The cider was great. What else did we do?
Tree lighting ceremony?
Yeah, we had the blue light ceremony. We'd like to thank the chief and Officer Fulton for getting that together. We had a nice crowd there. I was very pleased, and so that went very well. We went out and got a couple Christmas trees. We decorated them. One was the blue light, one's at the highway department. So that was great. It's kind of winter time, but people are doing what they have to do, and I think a lot of people are still a little leery getting out and because of the new COVID variants. But that being said, the main thing is to get vaccinated and wear your mask, I guess the latest thing. Other than that, Emergency Management Preparedness Committee,
Nothing to report.
nothing to report on the CAC. IT Committee, I think we've done quite a bit this year. Quite a lot of, quite a bit over budget, but we were all right. Milton Train Station Foundation, I believe they met and discussed a few things. So they're moving forward. One of the things that I know that we're looking forward to in this board, especially the new board, is we haven't heard anything about the new CFA grants as of yet. But as you know, Rosemary Wine and her husband and Howard and John Behan put a lot of time and effort into that. And that's to do the Milton Landing area to make that beautification there, that it's going to just pop and make everything else go well. So talking about that, if you go down to the Milton Landing now, there's work being done on the west side of the train station that's coming along very well. So it's remarkable little changes that we do every time we do something down there. It really makes it look more and more like the vision that everybody is looking for. So we continue to work on that. Milton Landing Citizens Committee.
Yeah, I got something on there. Like I said, at the last meeting, I was going to get a hold of Captain Thomas as far as doing the dock removal, the annual. So I had multiple phone calls, phone conversations with him. I sent him pictures of, the dock getting floated away. So he said he was going to send me an email. He sent it on Saturday. I found it in my spam mailbox on today.
Huh.
I asked for an invoice, just an estimate invoice. He didn't send that, but he sent me an email. I could read that if you'd like. It's pretty quick. It says normally work like this is $450 an hour, but this will be recurring, so I can do for $350 an hour plus tax. As mentioned when we spoke, he thinks it's approximately 2 to 2.5 hour job from the time we leave the dock until we get back. Could be more, it could be less. You have to do the job at least once before he can tell you for sure. He says best guess is 2 hours. Sorry for the delay. I'm rarely in the office this time of the year. I don't think it'll even be 2 hours because they used a smaller, under-powered boat to do it. They basically just floated kind of with the tide and pulled it a little bit. This guy's got real boats that are made for towing, 45-foot broken down, pleasure boats. It's probably going to take him about 35 minutes to 45 minutes if it's unhooked already. So like if we, if you say to him, hey, if he says to us, well, I can be there Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock, we send a couple guys down there, jack up the ramp, pull the pins on the thing, and it's floating, and he can hook up to it. It's probably take him about 30 minutes to push it down there, and the same to bring it back up, as long as there's people there to hook it up. I told him he wouldn't have to do the unpinning and the ramp stuff like that, because I couldn't see paying that much money an hour to do that. So
That's great.
I'm going to try to get an invoice or an estimate, so the future board can have that.
Right.
It's just for their information, so I'll reach out to him again tomorrow, so, on that.
That'd be great to schedule that so it's a little hairy this time, thanks to Gay Apple Jr. and associate to get the
Yeah, Todd Werba.
boat from the fire department.
Yeah.
and go down and do that.
And the tide itself. Yeah.
So it's out of the water and it's safe.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any, the Marlborough, you know, actually on that recreation, I think, Scott, we could talk about the Marlborough Hamlet economic with the Christmas party with Santa Claus coming down there and the tree lighting and the disc jockey. I thought that went extremely well. Everybody had a great time, and the kids really enjoyed it. They had some caroling done down there by the Cub Scouts, so that was very good. It was an enjoyable time. I haven't heard anything from Sheila and Meet Me in Marlborough. Have you, Howard?
I have, maybe Scott has.
Did you?
I actually got an update.
Oh, good.
Well, what they've done. So Meet Me in Marlborough, Town Board report, on 11/13, they did a ribbon cutting ceremony, Locust Grove Broom Company. November event committee meeting followed up by a local event. 11/26 shop small Saturday promotion they had. December 6th event committee meeting, discussed current and future events. I was on that call with them, so they're planning on all their events for the next year. So that's why I got this report, because I asked Sheila to start getting us monthly reports. Meet Me Marlborough was creating a yearly calendar to list current and future town board events. So she'd like to, as she's always asked, to get all events in one spot so we could share them equally. They would share our events on their site, and we could share their event on our site, so which makes sense. December 3rd, December happenings, newsletter, listening community, holiday events was sent out. Meet Me in Marlborough gift certificate promotions are currently taking place for the holidays. And 12/12 and 12/10, Meet Me in Marlborough support local newsletter, shop local for the holidays, and community events was sent out through their website and Facebook and social media. And hopefully people saw that and they actually shop local, and they could get their gift cards through their site too. So that's the report for them.
Thank you.
Now, I'd like to hop back up to economic development and usually use that for the trail, Marlborough Trail. So we did have a meeting last Monday with the trail committee members. 2 items were, one was the naming of the trail in Tony's honor, and basically what we decided there was to ask the family what they would like the name to be, and I've since done that. They haven't come back yet with a recommendation, but they will. And subsequent to that, I spoke to Julian Falco, Tony Falco's son, and I think he would be interested in being on the committee going forward. He's very familiar with it. He helped with a lot of the work that Tony did last year. So maybe for the new administration, they can consider adding Julian to the committee. I think it would be very appropriate. The other thing we discussed at that committee meeting was reviving that Greenway Grant we were going after last year. It was canceled. So what we'd like to do this year is there's been even more washouts since Hurricane Ida. And so there's more restoration work that needs to be done. So that would be the focus of any grant money that we would go after, would be to try to shore up what's needed to be shored up so the trail below the washout area doesn't continue to wash out. So those are the 2 things we discussed. So that means we're probably going to try to go after a new grant. The first grant date, I think, is February 4th. So that's what we're shooting for now. And it shouldn't be too bad because we have a lot of it already written from last year's effort. So that's
Thank you,
the
Howard.
Marlborough
And we
Trail.
also, we sent out letters to Josh Benson from Tilcon to
Yeah.
inform him about that we were going after this grant.
Right. That's so they're aware.
Make sure
and
they
have
were
an
right.
approval.
As
Right.
you know, we have a 25-year lease on the property, so
Yeah.
we're in good shape.
And the historic survey final report should be done before Christmas. Everybody's commented on it. They've gotten all their comments to Neil Larson, who's the consultant who's doing that report, so that should be in our hands before Christmas, hopefully. Okay? No.
I think our guys are happy up at the transfer station. There was some tree cutting and branches that they were concerned about falling on the electrical line. I know John Alonji had Phil up there and took care of all that work. Anything else on the transfer station?
I don't have any.
I haven't heard anything.
Did we remove those tires, the truck tires?
Some of them, not all of them.
Yeah, that's good.
It's working.
Whatever we have in the budget.
What's in the budget? We got a 2-year plan.
Yeah,
That's right. And DEC is okay with that.
yep.
Okay, moving forward, old business, Tomback rehabilitation update. Just want to let everybody know, I sent Phil Bell's contract to the attorney and finally got all the appropriate insurance. So I'd like a motion to sign the contract with Phil Bell as the engineer and the architect also sent his insurance that was needed to satisfy the attorney about the contract. So I need a motion to sign those contracts.
Make that,
I'll make the motion that we sign the contract with Bell Engineer.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. I just got them just the other day, and it took them a while. We haven't had any report on the water district improvement. Howard, you want to give us an update on the South Pier update?
Well, let's see, we've had a couple of phone calls since we last met. One item we need to finalize is the closing in of the gaps that exist in the removable rails. There's 5 of them, and we had gotten an estimate from Arbin on that, and we felt it was a little too high. And subsequently, I think we decided we can handle that one in-house. The estimate we got was over $9,000, which was a lot of money for closing up 5 rails. So I think, Scott, we're going to do that in-house. Is that? Yeah. Okay. Then I didn't speak to Brandy in the last day or two. Brandy is the engineer from Tig & Bond about the requested documentation on welding certification and so forth for the pier. So I don't know if she's gotten that as yet. As of last Thursday or Friday, she hadn't. So we still have that outstanding item. The other thing that happened earlier this week was a phone call with Eric DeSalt from American Cruise Lines, who was very, very interested in using our pier. That, as you recall, is a cruise line that is international in scope, I believe, but they like to do these leaf peeping tours up the river in the fall. They charge $5,000 a person, so it's a pretty nice operation. He's very interested in using our pier as a docking site, so what we're still talking about is what we have to do to make the current pier suitable for docking of boats of their size, which are 200 feet plus. We have a 2 3-pile fender system that our engineer would like to use. They're proposing a 3 2-pile system. So a subsequent call needs to take place between Tig & Bond, our engineer, and Eric to discuss that as an alternative and see what they come up with. And I think I saw an email from Eric today requesting that meeting be set up. So he is very eager to pursue the fender pile solution. So we should know more in a couple of weeks, I think. So that's all I know at this point. So we're getting close on being able to close out the project in terms of its current existence, so we can satisfy Tom's request for some paperwork there. So hopefully we can close that out very quickly. Anything else, Scott?
No, one thing when we had that call, it was, we just wanted to verify too that if we have to redesign, we don't want to redesign this just for one specific tour group. He wants to have this 3-system, 2-pile system. we just want to make sure other boats that want to dock there also can dock with those types of pilings and fenders. So, you know, that was a discussion we asked her to have with Eric and come back to us. And of course, we asked for talks of financial trade-offs for them possibly building these fender piles for us in exchange for docking fees, and that would be things we'd have to discuss and go forward. But it was a positive discussion, and like Howard said, they're very, very interested in utilizing our pier. So it was all positive stuff. So.
Yep. Okay. New business, certificate of results of the mandatory referendum. As that was to change the highway department to a 2-year position to a 4-year position. Certificate of results of mandatory referendum. The Town Board of Town of Marlborough duly adopted the resolution at a regular meeting on April 12, 2021, increasing the term of office of the superintendent of the highway from 2 to 4 years. The foregone resolution was adopted subject to a mandatory referendum, and the short and long of it, it passed. So the certificate shall be entered into the minutes of the meeting of the Town of Marlborough on December 13, 2021. So the certificate is now entered into the minutes. Okay, Colleen?
Yes, that's good. We need to document that.
So the next time he runs, it'll be 4 years.
Yep. I did not read, I have one correspondence. Sorry, Scott. Dear Town Clerk, Town Supervisor, and Town Board, I'm writing to inform you of my resignation of my position as Town Councilman for the Marlborough Town Board effective December 31st, 2021, so I can start my newly elected position as Town Supervisor for the Marlborough Town Board as of January 1st, 2022. It has been a pleasure being a part of the current Town Board and the past 10 years serving our community as Town Councilman. I'm so proud of all we have accomplished, and I have no doubt the new Town Board will continue these successes in the future. And signed Councilman Scott Corcoran. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
I need a motion to accept Scott's resignation.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. There you go, Scott. It's all legal now.
I got 24 hours free.
Public comments? Any public comments? Ted, come up to the microphone, please. State your name. Ted, come. Ted, could you come up to the microphone, please?
Gotta get you on video.
State your name, please.
Hi, my name is Ted Millar. I'm a resident of Milton. I'd just like to take a moment to thank Supervisor Lanzetta and Councilman Baker for their years of dedicated service to the town. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ted.
Two more.
Yes. The wine. Our Grant people, God bless you.
I just want to say thank you to the whole outgoing board. It's been fun to work with everybody, but I especially want to thank Al and Howard because we worked so closely with them. And I so appreciate everything that everybody has done and all the things we're able to accomplish.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Me too. It's been a pleasure and an honor. So, thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you. And by the way, it was a double pleasure for us to work with you all. We really appreciate your volunteerism, and you can't really explain how many hours you guys put into. Now this is, I think, our third or fourth CFA grant. It takes many hours of preparation, talking to the planner, getting the figures right, getting the budget right. Everything has to be just perfect. And those two people really deserve the clap. Thank you very much, Rosemary. Thank you. Okay.
Over there.
Yes, Mickey?
Hi, Mickey Simonovsky, Marlborough, New York. I too want to congratulate the entire board. You've done so very, very much, and I commend the way you've all worked together. I know and I trust that the new board members will all work together just as well as you five have to get so much more done for Marlborough. I want to thank Al and Howard, especially as well, since they will be leaving the board. You've just been phenomenal for all of us here, so thank you for that. And then I also have a quick question. I live on Orchard Street in Marlborough, and I noticed the entire end of my street has been cleared. There's a large parcel of property there that I understand is going to have a home built on it. And they cleared the whole, she told me it was 2.5 acres. But when they cleared that, they also cleared what is a swath that is town property, which is referred to as African Lane. So it makes me wonder, has the town decided that they're going to do something to clear out that lane so that it will be accessible to the public?
You know anything about that?
I'm not aware of that.
I stopped the clearing and talked to the DEC, and they've now seeded it. I don't have any applications on it right now, but yeah, there is a talk of a house going on it. But again, they cleared it prematurely with no permits. I put a stop work order on it. I had them seed it, and waiting for spring. But the question as far as Africa Lane, that would be your question. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, that was my, I was hoping that maybe it would be a walking trail or something, that the town had decided to keep it clean, because now, if the town doesn't keep it clean, it's going to look pretty ugly compared to that home, and there's, my understanding is that there's 3 other homes that are proposed to come off of Summit Drive, and those are on the market for $900,000. So improvement is great. Just wanted to bring it to the board's attention that that's happening at African Lane, and if the town owns it, they should make sure that we own it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys probably just over-cleaned.
Oh.
Whoever did it probably just didn't know where the boundary was, I would imagine.
Right, right.
Okay, any other public comments?
We didn't put any up, I just want to ask for the special meetings.
Yeah, I need a motion to advertise for the reorg meeting.
I just want to ask the board, we got to advertise for 2 special meetings next year. One, advertising for a special meeting on January 1st. It's to appoint the new town board member that will fill the vacant seat, and for a planning board member. And then on January 5th, we want to have the reorg meeting, and the reorg meeting will be held upstairs in the conference room because of the use of this room being done. And both of them, 12:30 is the one on January 1st, and 7 o'clock is the one on January 5th.
I make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Advertise.
And I just want to make a note, because I talked to Al about this today. The county has been able to acquire 33,000 take-home kits for COVID, which meaning they're going to distribute these throughout the county. These are rapid tests, take-home tests. 22,000 of them will be distributed through the school districts throughout the county. The remaining ones will be handed out through the towns and through some non-for-profits. The town of Marlborough should get around anywhere from 200 to 300 of these kits, and they should be being delivered end of this week, early next week. Al knows, he'll post it on our Facebook page and our website page. You could come into the town hall and acquire one of these kits per household, if you so choose, or until we run out. So they're trying to get these kits into the hands of people before Christmas starts, the Christmas season, knowing that there's going to be a lot of people gathering together, and that these kits are pretty hard to get, and they were lucky enough, Executive Pat Ryan was able to get a hold of our new governor, and she was able to release some of these kits for us. So just look out for that. Just want to make that known to the public. So.
Yeah, we're not going to announce it until we actually have them into town hall. I'll do it at the end. But thanks for reminding me. Yes, Mary Beth, please come up. It's a long walk up.
So my name's Mary Beth King. I'm in Milton, and I too wanted to thank Howard and Al. Howard, I'm a fairly recent member of the community, and Al and Howard both welcomed me in a very personal manner, and I want to publicly appreciate that. But the other thing I wanted to just ask the board is if the meetings will continue to be televised. And if so, my recommendation would be that we all talk directly into the microphone. It's very difficult when people are trying to watch this on TV and it's mumbled, you can't hear, you don't see what people are referencing on the screen. So I hope for transparency that we continue with them being on the YouTube channel. I think it's great, but if we could be more mindful about speaking directly into the microphone, and if there's any way to include the visuals would be helpful. I know that's really tricky because you got to have somebody doing both, but just a suggestion going forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Public hearing? Any public comments? Not a public hearing. All right, let's go to the resolutions. Resolution 81. Okay. Supervisor Lanzetta proposes the following, whereas Steve Clark wishes to remain as a member of the Board of Assessment Review, and now therefore be resolved that Steve Clark be reappointed to the Board of Assessment Review, term ending 09/30/2026, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Corcoran.
Yes.
Councilman Malinelli.
Yes.
Councilman Koenig.
Yes.
Councilman Baker.
Yes.
Supervisor Lanzetta.
Yes. Thank you. Resolution 82, transfer of funds. Supervisor Lanzetta proposes the following, whereas the town board needs to approve the transfer of funds, and be it resolved that the town board, the town of Marlborough, hereby approves the following transfer of funds. To transfer $17,964 from Heavy Equipment Fund DA.0230.004 to Cash Fund DA.0200 to cover the cost of a new sander for Truck 10, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Corcoran.
Yes.
Councilman Malinelli.
Yes.
Councilman Koenig.
Yes.
Councilman Baker.
Yes.
Supervisor Lanzetta.
Yes. Thank you. Supervisor Lanzetta on Resolution 83 proposes the following, whereas the town board needs to approve the transfer of funds, and be it resolved that the town board of the town of Marlborough hereby approves the following transfer of funds. The transfer of $25,721 from the IT reserve A.0230.005 to the general fund A.0200 to cover the cost of the camera system for the police department and the town park, and upgrade to the town's voicemail system, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Corcoran.
I just want to make sure everybody understands, these are just fund transfers from one account to another. These are funds that have already been set up, and we just, for an accounting reasons, we have to do these by resolution, so just so you know. And I say yes, honestly.
Councilman Malinelli.
Yes.
Councilman Koenig.
Yes.
Councilman Baker.
Yes.
Supervisor Lanzetta.
Yes. Well, a couple more transfers. So, Resolution 84, to transfer funds, Supervisor Lanza proposes the following, whereas the town board needs to approve the transfer of funds and be resolved that the town board of Town of Marlborough hereby approves the following transfer of funds: to transfer $34,000.03 from the building reserve A.0230.002 to the general fund A.0200 to cover the cost of the fire alarm system, planter around the flagpole, and upgrades to the highway garage floor and highway brine shed, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Corcoran.
Yes.
Councilman Malinelli.
Yes.
Councilman Koenig.
Yes.
Councilman Baker.
Yes.
Supervisor Lanzetta.
Yes. One last transfer. We have to do this because of our AUD, and our budget director will kill us if we don't. That's the main reason. Resolution 85 to transfer funds. Supervisor Lanzetta proposes the following. Whereas the town board needs to approve the transfer of funds and be resolved that the town board of Town of Marlborough hereby approves the following transfer of funds: to transfer $186,359 from Park Reserve A.0230.002 to the general fund A.0200 to cover the cost of the Sands Avenue Park project, and moves for its adoption. We have this money. Basically, we received money from a developer for recreation fees, and it added to our reserves, so that's the transfer that we're doing, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Corcoran.
Yes.
Councilman Malinelli.
Yes.
Councilman Koenig.
Yes.
Councilman Baker.
Yes.
Supervisor Lanzetta.
Yes, thank you. Resolution 13, to authorize the negotiating of a sewer agreement with Latent Properties. As explained before, it's just to negotiation with Latent and all the legal aspects of it in this resolution. It's pretty lengthy. Whereas the town board has approved the owner's request conditioned upon suitable agreement between the parties setting forth the terms and conditions of the property reservation of treatment capacity and use of sewer facilities of the MSIA, which is a sewer agreement, and hereby whereas the adoption of this resolution is a type 2 action required, no secret review. Now therefore be resolved that the town supervisor and the attorney to the town negotiate with the terms of sewer agreement with the developer, and be it further resolved that the final sewer agreement must be conditioned upon the issuance of all required approvals in compliance with SECRA, and be it further approved that the final sewer agreement is subject to the approval of the town board, and be it further resolved that the developer pay the cost of the third-party consultant hired by the town in connection with the negotiations of the sewer agreement, and fund an escrow account in an amount determined by the supervisor and such consultants at which such cost shall be paid. And like I said, they did already, we did receive the escrow from Latent in the amount of $12,500. Colleen?
Supervisor Lanzetta.
Yes.
Councilman Baker.
Yes.
Councilman Corcoran.
Yes.
Councilman Koenig.
Yes.
Councilman Malinelli.
Yes.
Thank you. And finally, it's a long, lengthy resolution, but basically what it is, it's an IMA. We talked about this with the chief and the Poughkeepsie Police Department to share a shooting range down in Tilcon. So this resolution is to authorize, direct, and empower the supervisor to execute the EAF, negative doc, and authorize the supervisor to sign agreement, the IMA, and any other documents. And that's what the resolution basically is about. Chief has looked at this. We looked at this a couple of times with the attorney, and it's a go. Right, Chief?
Yes, sir.
Comfortable with?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Colleen?
Supervisor Lanzetta.
Yes.
Councilman Malinelli.
Yes.
Councilman Corcoran.
Yes.
Councilman Baker.
Yes.
Councilman Koenig.
Yes.
Are we using it, Jerry, yet?
We will use it in May, but.
We haven't started yet. Right.
But Poughkeepsie has been using it.
I know they have,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll start using, our next range date is in May.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, I want to personally thank every board member for a great 6 years. Once again, Ed's been with me the longest, 10 years, on and off. Alan, the last 6 years, it's been a pleasure, Alan. Thank you for all your hard work and your dedication to the landing and to the community. I appreciate it. And Howard, as always, thank you very much for all your very detailed. It's going to be hard, Scott, to find a guy like Howard. It's almost like when you read his stuff, it's almost like you're there because he's so detailed.
He's an IBM manager. I don't know what he is. I work with all of them.
And thanks to Scott Corcoran, the supervisor-elect. So it's been a great 6 years. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a great night. And be safe, wear the mask, and be careful out there. Thank you very much.
Alan, adjourn.
Can I have my phone?
tell you, the next meeting is canceled. We started this a couple of years because it's so close to Christmas. So this will be the last meeting for the year.
Okay, one last thing is,
Oh, yeah, we're going to adjourn.
No, January
Yeah.
1st, you gotta mention, the two other meetings, right?
Yeah, you have a special meeting.
January 1st is gonna be a meeting at 12:30.
Yeah.
And January 5th, it'll be a meeting at 7 o'clock.
I got so excited now.
I know,
I'm
you're jumping at it. I just, before I make a motion for adjournment, which I'm pretty sure I'll get, just want to say, it's been a great 8 years. It was a pleasure working with you guys. We accomplished quite a bit from infrastructure, which was number one on my slate. I know it seems like I was big on the park, and I was very big on the landing, obviously. But my goal was to get the sewer to 9W in both Milton and Marlborough, expand our water, fix the sewer treatment plant, to get the water deal done with Newburgh. Those were big on my agenda. We did a lot of other stuff along the way, including the aesthetics in Marlborough and Milton with the sidewalks. I'm very proud of what we accomplished. It's just something I'll always be very proud of. When I chose not to run again, I knew I was only going to do 8 years, but we basically got a lot done in 8 years. And those were my things I wanted done, and they're done. And I wish the new board tremendous success in your future. And keep looking down the road. Don't make a decision for today. You got to make a decision for tomorrow. And I think we made some good tomorrow decisions today.
We did.
So just like to say thank you to everybody, and it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, Alan. Appreciate
And with
it.
that, and working with the police chief too. We got a couple things done ourselves, so it was nice. With that being said, I don't want to keep anybody here any longer than we have to because there's football on. So I make a motion for adjournment. I ask for one.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye, so moved. Thank you, gentlemen.